On NFL Game Day morning on NFL Network this past Sunday, we had some terrific folk from Fort Irwin, the National Training Center. And the show ended with all of those who were there with us. There was a Master Sergeant Nice was his name. I asked him if there was a Master Sergeant Naughty. At any rate, but Sergeant Nice said, "Go Army, beat Navy." That's right. Is how he ended the show.
I love it.
But there's a couple games for undefeated Army before that, including one huge one this coming weekend in Yankee Stadium against Notre Dame. The head coach of Army football, Jeff Monken, joins us now here on the Rich Eisen Show. Coach Monken, how are you, sir?
I'm great. Thanks a lot.
Are you, this is a big one, obviously. How are you approaching this here football game with your charges, sir?
I guess kind of like we approach all the rest of them, just trying to do our very best to prepare ourselves to have our guys execute their fundamentals, their assignments, and hang on to the ball and try to not make mistakes that are going to, give them any chances to capitalize. And when you play a really great team like Notre Dame, you don't have to play perfect, but you got to play really well. And so just preparing our guys to do that.
And do your guys talk about college football playoff possibilities? Do they actually openly discuss it? Do you openly discuss it with your players?
No, I don't think it's I don't know that it's productive to talk about that right now. There's a lot of football to be played before all those decisions are made. I'm certain that our guys are influenced like everybody else, their friends, their families, social media. They got a phone, so they read a lot of stuff about that, but we don't talk about it. It really isn't important right now.
Well, obviously that's maybe a media-driven conversation, and that's my world in which I reside. I think it would be phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal, that in this new day and age of 12 teams making college football playoffs, if one of them was an old school, back in the day type of team like Army football, that would be phenomenal. Straight up.
I agree. I think it'd be phenomenal as well.
and
we're going to have to do something about it. That's
what I'm saying. And it does appear that it would be a great way to remind everybody what is successful in this world with NIL and portals and things of that nature. If a program like yours makes it and shows up in a college football playoff game, Coach, to be honest.
It would be great, but I'm so proud of our guys. The season that they've put together here, and the professionalism that they've approached every week with, and the maturity that they've had. Really, it's hard. It's hard to go undefeated, and it's hard to put successes behind you. We all want to pat ourselves on the back and talk about what's been done, but our guys have done a great job of really looking forward and looking at what we need to accomplish, and that's really the next game. And all year it's been like that. We got a great senior class. We've got really strong leaders within the unit, and I think that's important to have a very successful team. And so, people aren't surprised to hear that we've got good leadership, but there are all teams, every team, and each team's different. And sometimes there's just those teams and those special leaders that come along, and that happens here too. And we really got some good leaders, and they've done a great job of putting the past in the past and looking forward to the next game.
So, Coach Monken, this is obviously not your only stop of your illustrious coaching career. So can you put in perspective the difference it requires in a player to play for Army than other places that you've been, and what they do throughout the week, throughout the year, that places potentially other things on their plate that other collegiate football players don't have?
Oh, certainly the experience here is unique. And I think every college football player's journey and experience at their respective school is different. And everybody that plays at each of the universities we see on Saturday afternoons, their experiences, guys on the same team don't go through the same things every day. They don't have the same major, the same academic regimen, and that's certainly the case here. But what our guys do is very unique. Just the requirements academically. We don't ever have a guy that gets to his senior year and he's got all of his credits done and he takes 6 hours because that's all he needs to graduate. Our guys are taking a full load of classes every semester, which is anywhere between 15 and 22 hours a semester. They've got military requirements. They're all part of a company within the United States Corps of Cadets, and so they've got obligations to serve their company and duties that they are obligated to every day, and that's part of the leadership experience. Is part of the development of each of these guys as leaders and future Army officers. So along with that, they're FBS football players, and we demand a lot of our guys. Our hours here aren't any different in our building than a typical FBS football player. Meetings and workouts and practice and film and all those things. So our guys do a great job of handling it. They've got a real balancing act on their hands. Probably not enough hours in the day to do everything that they have to do, but they manage to get it done, and that makes me particularly proud to see them having the success that they are because of all that they are responsible for every day.
And what about you? What do you like coaching about an Army that's different from other stops or requires whatever a certain difference in you, Coach Monken?
I love coaching and I love football. I was a coach's kid. My dad was my high school coach, and so I come from a coaching family. I never wanted to do anything else. So people, I think, kind of say off the cuff that, how you doing? I'm living the dream. I'm actually living my dream. I love coaching, and I love this sport and what it teaches people. But I love coaching an Army. These are incredible young men and women here, and we are in a society that really encourages people to look out for themselves, to maybe step on somebody else's toes if it means you're going to succeed, and that's fed to our players and our students here their whole lives through social media and other ways to give that message to them. But the world has an 18-year head start on all the students that come here, but over the course of the 4 years that they're here, the development that happens for them as leaders, and to come from a society that tells them that tells these young men and women that they should look out for themselves, yet they pledge a commitment to serve our nation and serve people that they'll never meet, a constitution that they didn't write, and a flag that represents all of us, not just those that serve. I mean, it's humbling to be around servant leaders like they are, and the people that are here to train, educate, train, and inspire them to become leaders of character in our Army. So, one of the reasons I wanted to come here was that I knew my influence as a leader would extend well beyond our locker room, and that our players would lead their soldiers the same way that they're taught here. So it's a tremendous sense of responsibility. And I never served in the Army or in the military, but in my own way, this is my opportunity to serve, and it's just an honor and a privilege to do that, and to be at an incredible institution like West Point.
And you had just mentioned your family being a coaching family. Your cousin Todd is the offensive coordinator of the Baltimore Ravens, correct, Jeff?
He is a remarkable football coach and doing a great job. So he's a great source of pride for our family. We're all excited for him and proud of him.
So have you delivered any Bryson Daly plays for him to say Lamar should do this? Have you done that, Jeff?
Hey, let me tell you, that guy, he's got a great quarterback he's coaching, and
well, you have one too. Coach. You have one too now. You've got one too.
We do. We do. Bryson's a special guy, and our philosophies, at least for now, are pretty different. But we do what we need to do here to win, and he's doing what he needs to do to win at Baltimore. So excited for him, and I hope their success will continue.
Yeah, I would love that. Just one time, if you ever do that. Hey, Todd, this is what I do with my quarterback, okay? So maybe you should do that with Lamar. Let me give you 2 cents. That would be fun.
Well, he does a good job running his quarterback.
He does.
I do enjoy watching that. Not everybody does that in that league, but he's got a talented guy, so he does a good job of drawing up some design runs for his quarterback.
Yeah, what do you say to people who think that an offense like that can't win a championship, Jeff? What do you think about that?
I think there's a lot of ways to win championships. There's not it's not a cookie cutter blueprint. I think the personality of the team, the style of the coach, the players that we can get in our respective programs or organizations, I think all those things matter. So there's a lot of ways to get it done.
Well, not to drag you into my level of things, I'm a red-blooded American, and I think everybody can get behind rooting for Army football, especially Michigan Wolverine fans who hate the movie Rudy. Let me tell you, we are all Army fans in the Michigan Wolverine family this weekend. I'll tell you that.
Every American should be an Army fan. We're America's team, and so you can root for all your home state teams and your blue blood programs, but everybody can cheer for Army.
Do we know if Aaron Judge is going to be there? Do we know if we're going to get any Yankees there this weekend?
I haven't gotten a celebrity list yet.
Okay.
I imagine they'll let me know if anybody's going to be kind of hanging around.
Okay.
But I'm excited to get down there to Yankee Stadium. What an iconic venue and a privilege for us to be able to play there. I know our players are excited. Yeah, I'm certainly.
That's pretty cool. Are you a Yankee fan, Coach? You a Yankee fan?
I'm a converted Yankee fan. I'm a Cubs fan. I grew up a Cubs fan. I'm still a Cubs fan, but John Mosley, who's the director of football down there at the Yankees, who happens to be a Notre Dame grad,
I know John.
Has become a good friend, and those guys take good care of me. And my family and I get a chance to go down to a game every year, and so we become Yankee fans, being local.
Maybe Army could play in Wrigley Field one day. Maybe you could do that.
Maybe.
That would be great. Listen, Coach, I really appreciate the time. My last one for you is this. And again, I understand Army puts Army on the back and the actual players' names right there on the front. I understand that. That's my long-winded setup to ask you this. What would you tell the College Football Playoff Committee about putting Army in? Should you navigate this season and go undefeated, beating Notre Dame in Yankee Stadium, so on and so forth? I understand it's a marathon. I just sprinted here, but what's your message to the College Football Playoff Committee should they have this decision in front of them one day, Coach?
All the folks on that committee were chosen and selected for their expertise, and they're going to make the best decisions for college football, and so I think we just let our play and our people kind of be the representation of who we are as a team. We got a great team. I never promote our team as being the most talented team, and we're not void of talent, but there's very few times we play where, as Marcus Freeman said in his press conference, that if you had to put a tape measure to our team and a 40-yard dash and athleticism, we probably aren't going to win any track meets, but that's not what it's about. You don't have to have the most talented players to win. You got to have the best team to win. And I think we got a really good team. And because of what we do offensively, the uniqueness of it, it's an equalizer. And we feel confident that we can play with anybody in the country. And I guess that's just a culture. And whether the playoff committee believes that or not, that's for them to decide. But we certainly have that confidence, and just a great bunch of tough guys, and we'd be fun to watch. I know that.
Well, best of luck putting that decision in front of them, Coach, and best of luck in Yankee Stadium against Notre Dame. I'll be watching.
Appreciate the opportunity. Beat Navy.
There you go. That's right. Again, I heard that this weekend from a bunch of folks from Fort Irwin coming on our show. So I heard that.
Well, that's good. They're cheering for the right team. I heard you talk about that sergeant major Sergeant Nice that said beat Navy.
That's right. He did. He did.
Well
right?
trained.
It's the United States Army. Thanks again, Coach. Appreciate it.
You got it. Be Navy.
Army head football coach Jeff Monken here on the Rich Eisen Show. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.